Back in an episode of Tim's Garage. Mike is back in the garage today with his brand new, what year is it?
2023.
This is a 2023 Yamaha MT-10 with SP. Very important to know it's the SP edition. Has the really cool Transformer style front end. Mike, what's special about the SP?
The SP adds Olin shocks, adds Brembo. I don't remember if it's a cylinder or if it's certain Brembo parts, steel braided lines. That's all I remember right now.
Okay, well, that's enough. Beautiful bike. He just got it. He's still breaking it in. I mean, it's no Triumph Thruxton, but it's still pretty cool, Mike. And what are we doing today? We're going to do some of the bar end sliders. We're going to do axle sliders. What else are we working on?
Frame. Well, in the engine mount.
Frame sliders. Basically just protection
spools,
today.
Yeah.
Spools.
Protection kit. We also got a guard set for...
Oh, Michelle's in this video.
Yeah, Michelle.
Triumph.
We also got a guard set for the radiator.
Oh, cool. Nice and branded. I put one of these on my Triumph Street Triple. You guys can see that in my videos as well.
And this is also for the oil cooler.
And an oil cooler one. Okay, so we're going to do a whole little protection upgrade video on the MT-10, getting it ready for the Texas fall when we can finally take it out and do some riding once it cools down. So what are we going to do first?
Probably the bar ends, because they're dead easy.
Okay, and what do we got to do with the bar
You
ends?
gotta find the X of the right size. And
So we just got to remove...
Yeah, they're pretty easy. You just kind of undo the existing bar end and slide these in. One thing we learned, put that one on the gas side.
Which one?
Side.
The one that spins?
Yeah, and it's got some play in it, so that way when your hand grabs here, you don't get it stuck.
Smart. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's take it apart. Okay. Found the right hex size.
So this was mildly tricky. There's actually a hex on the inside that we thought we had to undo.
Hard to see.
But we're doing the more shallow depth. So this is an 8mm.
Okay.
So we just loosen it off.
Almost too easy.
In fact, all you really have to do is crack it.
And then figure loosen it up.
Voila. It's the old piece. We'll save that. Just in case we ever want to replace it. Find our gas side. Make sure we get it just right so we don't cross thread it. That's smooth. I'll grab my 5mm. So these Wilmette Tech parts use a 5mm instead of an 8. Maybe not. It's different. I was really thinking I would have put something on the threads. Go by feel. That's the start of where it's really grabbed, and let's get
It's almost too easy.
It's almost like it's brand new.
Yeah, it's really easy on a bike that hasn't ever been worn in. Cool. Boom. Nice. Easiest mod ever. Bar ends on the MT-10. Step 1. Done.
You get a couple of cool paperweights.
Yeah, you can chuck those at people who cut you off.
Yeah.
Now we're moving on to the front wheel slider. And does that just go through here? It just drops through, right?
I think so, yeah. Okay, so we already used the 6mm, disassembled this. It actually is sided. This little knob is gonna go the other way around. This side is gonna go here.
It covers that nut.
Covers it. Otherwise, the knob makes it stick out. The knob's gonna fit in on the other side.
Easy enough. This guy, go over here. My side's tight.
Me too.
Whoa. So easy. Done. Okay, now what?
Spools go somewhere.
Spools.
Probably do it.
Guessing right there.
Not here, right?
Ooh, or there. Let's do the other side. The other side has those same exact two spots. So we have to figure out where they go. But yeah, I'm guessing it's one of these two. I would probably say that one. Because on my Triumph, it is right before the axle.
Mm-hmm.
And that would kind of match up here. Not saying
Similar on that's similar on there.
make to make, but it is a maybe a common motorcycle thing.
Line it up, 5mm. Use this to get it in. Mm-hmm.
Almost too easy, Mike.
Snug.
Get inside 2-1. Done.
I'm honestly a little unsure how much protection this would actually provide in a crash. I feel like that bolt was shear.
So these are the
Frame sliders.
frame sliders. Why'd you do it in quotes?
Because I don't have a frame. I guess I do have a frame. I don't have.
It's part of the frame, right?
I don't have fairings.
Right. So they're gonna go
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah, one I believe is this way, but I have to double check the instructions. Tighten it down.
That's always good.
So I rode this probably 2 hours ago. It's still hot.
It is still hot. Yeah,
on my fingers.
I noticed that. You want gloves?
As long as I just touch it.
So this one, correct?
Yeah, and the torque wrench.
So it's gonna get a finger tight and then wrench tight, and then we'll torque wrench it. Okay. And then what was it too?
55 Newton meters.
And you twist it till it pops. There it is. I'll hold the bike. There you go. You were actually working against the suspension on that pole. Now we're just reversing it, putting the new one back on. Using the same hardware sleeve, but just the new bolt with the regular bolt head. Boom. All right, so far so good. We've got the frame sliders now done. We've got the rear spool sliders done and the front wheel sliders done. Mike's gonna finish them off with their cool little caps that go in here to cover that up and look all fancy.
You can buy, if you like colors, you can buy a kit that lets you
Oh, you should have gotten blue ones
anodize.
to match that.
Yeah, anodized, whatever they call it. Metal ones, aluminum ones.
Oh, that looks good. Nice and clean. All right, now we're moving on to the new grill cover, which is super, super cool. I'm excited to see this on there. It looks like we just have some mounting hardware on the sides, and we got to start there, right?
Yeah, 5mm.
5mm, and remove the plastic on both sides. And then we should be able to get access to sliding that on behind here. And yeah. So he's got the fairing pieces off, but it looks like in order to put that on, we got to take the little coolant reservoir off. Those two screws will go in here on the side. Okay, so we got the one side getting on here with the coolant canister back on. And we bowed the guard itself to get it in place over on this side. Okay, so on this side, you got to line it up, get the fairing piece back on, and then just use the same stock hardware through the fairing. I can hold it in place down here. It's good to have two hands. So just buttoning up the right side here. And it looks like this is pretty much done. I love that look in there. It has the MT-10 logo, and obviously we'll also add additional protection to Mike's beautiful new bike. But this looks good. Now we're gonna move on to the lower and do the oil cooler cover, which is this guy right here. Should be similar setup. So you have the side plastic off, took that off, and then one screw there, and then there's a couple up there at the top.
I got the push pin out, but these little,
Those two going.
but these on the top. Yeah.
Just might have to turn the wheel. All right, so you got the bottom grill fairing off. Now what?
So, yeah, this is a fairing, and this grill is mounted inside. I'm taking this off because I feel like that's not going to be there anymore.
And does this replace it then?
I guess.
All right, guess we're gonna find out. All right, we got the new grill semi in place. At least it's mounted on the bottom. Now we're just gonna replace the fairing and have it fit over it. So I'm gonna help Mike hold it. There you go. All right, Mike's putting the final fairing piece back on now that we've got both radiator guards in place. Mike, that one was a pain in the butt, the lower one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that one gets a bad review.
It's a bad review because it didn't seem to quite fit correctly, but it looks pretty darn good in there. I like that, man. I think it looks pretty sharp, and now you've got some extra protection, so can't go wrong with that.
Just check everything's tight. I'm sure nothing's gonna fall off.
Here, I'll help you.
First ride.
Okay. Yeah. So, to summarize, we've got the front frame sliders, the upper frame sliders, the rear spool sliders, handlebar ones, and then now we've got the grill guard. So your first customization,
Radiator and oil.
and oil cooler, your first customizations are done, man. Looking good.
Now it's my bike.
Yeah, now it's your bike. And I guess we can call this a wrap.